jugada. ¿Sabes lo que has hecho? ¿Sí? ¿Has sacrificado el alfil?
You sacrificed the bishop, you know the reason?
Ostras.
Yes, to checkmate.
¿Tan claro lo tienes ya? Vaya,
You were
vaya.
right.
Tenías
You
razón, ¿eh?
sacrificed a valuable piece to obtain the final victory in the game.
En la partida.
That reminds me of the legend of the beginning of
Del
chess.
inicio del ajedrez. ¿Os la cuento? Pues ocurrió con una posición parecida a esta, pero en una batalla. Entonces había un rey en la India, el rey Yadava, que imaginó que
It happened something similar to this, but in a
una
battle.
ofensiva tenía que
A
enviar
king in
un
India,
soldado
the Ayadava king that imagined that in order to win the battle had to launch an offensive, he had to send some soldiers to take a very dangerous position, and he sent his son, the prince.
alfil, ¿no?
In chess could be the bishop.
Yamir lo mandó
He sent his son a Jamir to take that dangerous position. He died, but thanks to that they won the battle.
gracias a ello.
That is very similar to what happened in this chess game. The-
Eso es muy parecido a lo que ha pasado aquí en esta partida de ajedrez y de hecho el rey cayó en mucha tristeza, ¿vale? Estuvo muy triste porque había perdido el rey y claro, pero había ganado la guerra. Y entonces estaba así un poco, pues eso, pues muy compungido. Entonces,
King was very sad for the loss of his son, but he won the war.
Brahman de la India,
Then a wise man from India imagined that inventing a similar game in which the union of all pieces by a common goal was more beneficial to win could make the king feel better, and he really appreciated it. The king told that he could ask what reward he wanted.
el regalo
And do you know what he asked?
del ajedrez y de hecho le dijo que podía pedir lo que quisiera de premio por haberle inventado este juego. ¿Y sabéis lo que pidió? Este sabio pidió
He didn't request castles or wealth.
riquezas. Bueno, tampoco. Solo le pidió, ¿sabéis lo que
No,
pidió?
not to be general.
Pidió
He asked for grains of wheat.
de trigo. Sí, le pidió, pero fijaos la cantidad que le pidió. Le pidió que le pusiera
He asked him to put grains of wheat in the squares of the chessboard,
cuadros del ajedrez,
one in the first one,
uno en la primera,
put one grain in the first one, and the double in each of the following, the double of 1, 2.
cuatro, muy bien, ¿vale? Entonces nosotros esa cantidad, mientras las vais poniendo
The next one, 4. We can calculate the quantity with a tool like Excel, a tool that will allow us to make an exact calculation. How many grains of wheat we need for each square. In the first one it's evidently 1.
uno de los otros
And in each one of them, we will put double 2 by the amount in the previous square.
por la cantidad que hay en el cuadro anterior. 2 por 1, 2.
And so on if we copy this formula in all cells in the bottom.
Abajo vemos que por cada casilla
We see that for every square, what are the ones that it will write. For example, the number 8, which is where it finishes the first row.
la primera
And we see that says 128. It will write them successively so that at the end of the second row,
cabe la segunda fila, ¿ve? Resulta que ya tiene que poner una cantidad tan grande.
it turns out that it will write a very large number such as 32,700 and something.
De modo que al
And every time the double so at the end, in the last one it will write. Let's see, until the middle of the board, it's an enormous amount. This amount is not available not in all granaries nor in the entire production that a country such as India could produce at that time.
hacer un país como la India en aquella época.
Many centuries ago. Today it will be very difficult to produce as well.
La que resulta de poner en la celda
The amount that the lost cell has, the cell 64,
es una cantidad tan grande como 9 y pico por 10 a la 18, es decir, con 18 cifras.
it is a quantity as large as 9 and something by 10 times, that is, a number with 18 figures, like 9 trillion grains of wheat would go to the last cell. So the sum total of all of them, let's click AutoSum, which is a method that range from 1 to 64, and we see more than 18 trillion grains of wheat. This amount that has 19 significant figures, it turns out that not even Excel is able to calculate it exactly, because if we put here the number format,
Resulta que si ponemos aquí el formato de número, vemos que, fijaos que
we see that there are only 15 significant figures. That means that not even Excel is able to calculate the exact number we have that. We will need to use another tool, for example a calculator in Windows. We have to select the scientific calculation, and now we can calculate that in reality simpler, saying that it is 2 raised to 64. We see that number. We need to subtract 1 because there was 1 extra square, and that is the amount of grains. Did you like the story? Let's play another chess game.